Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I know you as Camp by Mama.
Yes.
So tell me what that is and also why you did a brand shift.
Okay. So I started my blog, back in the day when there was blogs. Gosh, my son is 8, so probably like almost 7 years ago. I was done having my children, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go back to work in the fashion industry where I used to work. Or at the time, in 2017, a lot of people were starting blogs and posting on Instagram outfits, and it was totally different then. You could just post a pretty photo on Instagram and call it a day. And I like to do a lot of activities with my kids. So I started my blog, and Camp by Mama was the name, and the thought process behind that name is I was my kids' camp. And I would take them places and post about it and, network and meet different people. And I was, Camp by Mama to my kids, and also, Fairfield County, my Fowlers. So that's where that came about. Now shift forward, 7 years later, my kids are all older. My oldest is going to be 15 this month. Middle is 12 and my son's 8, and now I don't need to be their camp anymore because they're in travel sports, activities. I wish I could still be their camp, but the weekends are just jam-packed, and having a high schooler, her social life, she doesn't really like to spend as much time with me, so it's changed, and I changed it to my name a year ago. It made more sense because I would meet people and they'd be like, what's Camp by Mama mean, But when it first started and my kids were younger, it made sense. So that's where the shift came about.
So I feel like as someone who's been pretty successful in creating content early on, right?
Thank you.
So you have a following. So what do you think is the secret to creating authentic content and having people buy into your story? Because there's so much out there.
There is. So I think it's really just being yourself, and I love to have fun and laugh. That's just me. Like my high school friends will tell you that, my college friends, my new mom friends. I just like to be around positive people, uplift each other. So I started to plug out more humor, probably again when I changed my name, and it just took off, and that's where I really grew. I feel like, 2 years ago, my page was, I don't even know if I was barely at 20,000 followers. And then once I I felt like I could be myself more, and the humor and making people laugh in the comedy, people really liked it. So I just was sticking with it, and I just feel like people know if you're, being yourself. And then when you're on stories and you meet people, if that's really that person, just like now when we saw Amanda, she was like, oh boy, yeah, because it's, and I feel like it's fun to be around people like you and other people that are just, uplifting, and you could tell when people are fun and you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, and I think also there's so much content in the mom space. Like there was, our generation, or, within 10 years of each other, there was like the mom space, girl bossing, like we came up during that time.
Yes.
So I always say like right now, like Gen X is like branding menopause, which I have like I'm like, of course, because we have to brand everything.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be like this one's in menopause. It's like,
yes.
Nope, we have to create a brand around it. It has to be books. It has to be social media and content. Oprah's now doing it.
Yes.
So I feel like as a generation, we've had to brand everything. So when you rebranded yourself out of Camp by Mama and it's just your name,
yes.
It's like you actually are rebranding into the next phase of your life, whatever
Correct.
that is. A little bit older kids, and they're still pretty young.
Yes, I love the way you put that. Yeah, it's true.
So can you talk a little bit about how you've evolved as a creator? Because I know you said it's more humor, but there's got to be more of a tie for people to feel emotionally invested in you.
Yes. So I feel like for me, it's, again, being who I am and authentic, and also coming up with unique and different content. Like there's the trends that everyone, we'll do that are funny and you can make them your own. But then you have to come up with content that's different than everyone else too, So sometimes I feel like I keep a notes app on my phone of other things that I'll see on Instagram, if it's a meme or a clip, and I'll save it for, inspo for the future, or, tie one idea into the other and sort of make reels your own content, whatever it may be. If it's about, working out or just about being a mom or being with your friends. So I feel like you have to be unique and different in some ways in order to stand out. Otherwise, you don't want to be the same, because the platform, there's so many people on this platform now.
I know, and it's so funny because I've seen some of your reels that have made me laugh out
Thank
loud
you.
because you're so on the mark and the way
Thanks.
it's very creative.
Thank you.
So I wanted to just touch upon your career because you said you were in the fashion industry. What were you doing?
So right out of college, I started at 9 West Group, and I was in fashion, and I was there not even a year. When you start your first job, you think you know it all. And you don't.
Yeah.
So it was 9 months, and then I moved to my second, and I was at Commuto Group, Vince Commuto, I'm sure you know that brand, and I was there for 5 years before I had started my family, and then I didn't go back into that world. But
is that were you in New York City?
So yes, not the show. Our showroom was in the city, and the main office was in Greenwich, which was great because I didn't have to commute every day. But it was so fun, when you're young and you don't really have much responsibility. I felt like half my paycheck probably went to my outfits, my wardrobe, and the other half to pay my mortgage, or my rent, whatever it was at that time. But yeah, the city was fun, and going to Fashion Week and all these dinners, and then we would go to shoe shows. So I'm, and you work crazy hours. That's why, now being a mom of 3, when I had my first daughter, I worked so hard to get where I was at the position with the company at the time. And, I wasn't sure. And my husband was like, well, if you want to stay home, you can, but there's going to be, the haircuts at the expensive place, the manicures every 2 weeks, and there's going to be a lot of, financially that we would have to change. So I knew I could go back or stay home. And once I had my daughter Ava, I was like, I want to be home with her. So, and yeah, you work crazy hours. I mean, it's no 9 to 5, that fashion world. But I have to say today, the person I am and being a content creator, digital creator, it really groomed me because you got to work with what you want, for what you want, your goals. If it's working with so many partnerships each year, or creating a certain amount that you want to make. It's funny because one time someone said to me, "Oh, I heard you're an influencer. What do you even do?" And it was like, okay, you can think that, but I know, and some people know also how hard it is, and it's pitching different brands. It's not all people just coming to you. You have to go out there and network and meet people and follow up, and yeah, it's a hustle.
It's a hustle, and the generations that I'm talking to on the show thus far, we were raised in a time when there was no Me Too movement, in terms of when we got to the city or we got to our career. It was a different time.
Yes.
So you were grinding. You were working in a way that no one would work like that coming out of college now, because there's boundaries and rules and HR. And so, but those things that we were told we had to do, which we did,
yes,
shaped us into workers, which I think also created a way that we raise kids and the way that we approach family life. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. No, definitely. I feel like being in that world, the fashion world, and, just your work ethic of getting to work and staying late. And, I feel like I wasn't home every night till 7 o'clock, and you eat lunch at your desk. and everyone else did it, so you thought you had to do it too, and you had to in order, or they would just fill someone in your position. You know,
you were replaceable.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
And they let you know that too.
Yes, and when I graduated college, it was in 2004, and the economy and getting jobs was amazing then. I mean, it was, you know, I interviewed and I had job offers like the next day, but I took a job. Well, I didn't take it, but it was offered to me with this PR agency. And I look back and I thought it would be so cool because they worked with all these celebrities. It was in Greenwich and, you know, the city life. And my dad was like, you know, this is going to be a lot of work, Megan. It's going to be, they told you it's weekends too. Like maybe this isn't, you know, what you're looking for right now. This would be your first job. And I'm so grateful that he told me that because I was like, I want a job, a corporate job, but I don't want to have to work weekends too, like my first job.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, that's the way things were back then, right? It was just there were no boundaries,
Yes.
and it also created like this work ethic.
Yes.
But, you know, you were part of that generation where we were told like to work really hard and to girl boss and to like have this female empowerment, but you decided to not pursue the career and have kids.
Yes.
What was your decision behind that?
So I really deep down always wanted to be a mom. That was just a dream of mine over any job at any big company, being in the fashion world. And, you know, you have that first baby, and I wasn't sure, again, if I was going to stay home with her or go back to work. Because, you know, like you said, we're girl bosses. We worked so hard and to move up that ladder to what your position was. And I, you know, I gave it all up, but I don't regret it by any means. And being a mom is, you know, still the most important part of me today. Like my kids come first before my, you know, if you would, a career, my brand and what I do. And it's great doing what I do because I can work around my kids' schedule. So I'm with them in the morning, get them on the bus wherever they need to go. And then I try to get work done when they're at school. And then when they come home, you know, it's full on chaos, Uber driver in 8 million different directions. And then I usually get them all set up. And, you know, I don't really enjoy cooking, but I attempt to cook. And then it's bedtime. And then I usually it's not the greatest thing, but I try to get more work done at night because when else am I going to do it? Because, you know, they get off the bus, it's 2:30. So from like 2:30 to 8, it's like mom mode. And they want me there. You know, I know that. So
one of the things that I forget because I've had so many guests, which we're so excited about, but one of the conversations that I've had was which way is the best way for women? And I'm, you know, coming from a very different place, but I think getting married early and having kids early is important.
Yes.
And also it's important because platforms and technology have evolved in a way that you can build your brand through social media, through technology, through platforms.
Yes.
In a way that like 30, 20 years ago you couldn't. So when you left your career, you left your career.
Yes.
Now it's like, well, actually I can have it all, but let me front load the family and then back end the brand. And so one of the things that I really am a proponent of, which I'm exploring on the show, is the messaging for women. And it's not about working so hard, it's about making better choices for yourself so that you have everything that you want. That's also why I think your brand is successful, because it's showing that you actually can have it all on your terms.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm drowning a lot of the days, but I try to power through. I feel like I need to go to bed earlier. What time do you go to bed at night, Amy?
Well, when you texted me last night, I was asleep. I was like in bed, and I saw your text with one eye open.
Yeah.
Like on shoot days, like we're going to bed at like 8:45.
Yeah.
But then there are some nights where why am I up at 2:30 and like thinking of a million things?
Yes.
It's not consistent right now.
Yeah, I do feel like I need more sleep. Like this morning, I was at the bus stop with Nico, and I had my under eye patches, and they were gold, and he was so cute. He went to get on the bus. He's like, "Mom, I really like your eye patches."
You're raising like a female-friendly boy there.
Yeah,
right?
He's going to be the best husband ever, my boy. Yeah, so I mean, I definitely don't think I have it all. I try to keep it together. But again, you know, it's like I want to show my kids too that, you know, they sometimes giggle too with what I do. And, you know, my daughter Ava will be like, oh, well, you don't really work. And I'm like, who pays your Starbucks bill, you know, every month when you're going, like, you know, I like to have my own income that I'm making and to contribute. Now that my kids are older, they're all in school all day. But when they were younger, it was different. But now that they're all in school, I feel like I want to earn my own and show that I am contributing to our family and help pay, you know, if it's even just to help pay their extracurricular activities, which are
so
like
expensive.
basically paying for a car each year. So be it. And the other thing I wanted to say, and I'm sure like you, I do also find that I need my self-care days. Yeah. You know, getting my eyebrows done, my nails, my hair, whatever. I feel when I look good, I feel like I'm a better mom. You know, I can't let those, like, even though I should probably be doing some work or something to grow my business or cleaning the house or organizing closets, I feel like it's so important for me to work out and also schedule in that self-care. And I don't feel like it's selfish at all because, you know, we have to feel good too.
You have to feel good.
Yeah.
What do you, I don't know if you've seen this.
Yes.
You probably have because you live on social media. What do you think about like the trad wife movement? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I think
well, now
somewhat.
that we're talking about it, it'll come up on our phone.
Okay.
It's basically a return to like traditional roles. Like they take it way extreme where like women are living on farms and like, you know, like ballerina farm and
yes.
There's like a movement for women to go more traditional.
Okay. It's starting again.
Right. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that.
So I feel like if you want to do that, you know, that's great. And if it makes you feel happy, I feel like it's probably like maybe like from our parents' era, right? Would you say?
Maybe like our grandparents.
Yes, you're right. Even further back. I mean, it probably is a good life too.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I feel like because how we have been brought up in the years and what we've been through with COVID and everything else. I mean, for me personally, I can't see myself doing it, but I could see others doing it and how it's really an enjoyable life. And, you know, you're probably on a farm and your husband's working and you're, right? Eggs, animals, milk, the milk you drink, right? Is that what you mean?
I just mean there's just like this return to, and we'll have you back on the show because like I just love these conversations, but like there's something called Evie Magazine, EVIE.
Okay.
And Evie Magazine is literally like the anti-Cosmo.
Okay.
And it's all about like femininity in women, how to be feminine, how to dress, how to speak to men, a return to like being a woman.
Okay.
And it's fascinating to me.
Yes.
Because I feel like for generations, decades, it's been like, you need to work, you need to make money, you need to be this and that. And now there's this whole movement of like, actually, never mind. That didn't work out because also no one's having babies.
Yes.
The population is declining.
I was here. I did not know about that till the other day. Someone was telling me that. I didn't realize that. I feel like I don't watch the news enough, but you're more up to date.
I like to have these conversations because you're putting content out that's pro-family.
Yes.
Without you even knowing it.
Correct.
So I feel like without you knowing it,
Yes.
even though you have your business and you're making money from it, you're actually part of that movement.
Yes.
But in a more progressive way.
Yes. Yes.
So to me, it's like there's this movement happening, and no one's having babies.
Yep.
People aren't getting married. In Japan, there's like a population crisis because it's global.
Yes.
And one of the reasons is because of the empowerment of women. So we empowered women. We forgot to empower men. Nobody's mating because everyone's mad.
Yeah. Or they're overworking, right?
Or they're like, they have no time.
Yes.
And so now what? And so it's like return to value, family values, return to more traditional, but what does that look like?
Yeah. And then they're probably also, I heard too, I read the other day that they're not buying homes, right? Just traveling, right?
Well, yeah,
That
they're
whole-
traveling. They're nomadic. The men are playing video games. Like there's just no pairing up.
Yes.
They're incels. It's just a kind of a fascinating thing of that people's solution for this is a return to more traditional.
Yeah. Well, and we probably did it, right? Because we were being like, girl power, women need to work, and now they're working harder than men in some instances.
And they're
right?
making more money than men.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I feel like I can only imagine what's going to be next after that, right?
Right. So and the reason I bring it up is because you are feminine, you have a family, you chose to have a career on your own terms.
Yes.
So you could almost, in a more progressive way,
Yes.
be looked upon as someone like the girls from Evie magazine would be like, yes, and they would call you Camp by Mama.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
I mean?
Thanks. Yeah.
But like that. So I feel like you straddle both the girl
Thank you.
boss and
Yes.
this new era.
Yes.
You should definitely look into it.
I got to look into it.
Because
I
would
feel
love
like
your
I'm
take
half
on
and
it.
half for them, though, right?
No, you're not fully.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think
Okay.
like you were raised in
Yeah,
girl
yeah,
boss,
yeah.
and now you're
Yes.
gonna look at that.
Yes. Yeah. And my husband, provided for our family while I was home. So I was, a mom life till, I had my last son. So my last child when I decided that we were done having kids. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I'm like kind of like jealous that you knew that because I'm usually good with like those sort of like pop culture and,
No, I want you to know
Yeah.
about it because
Now
I feel like you're gonna if you
Yeah.
dip your toe in a little bit,
Yeah.
you're gonna go down crazy rabbit holes.
Okay.
And
I like that though.
And I feel like you might be able to like spin it,
Okay.
but in
All right.
like your progressive
So
way.
maybe I could do like a reel about it. Okay.
Yeah, and like,
Okay.
but make it progressive.
Make it Camp by Mama-ish. Okay.
That was just a thought when I was talking. I'm like, I wonder if she knows about this trend.
I heard a little bit. Yeah.
That's so fascinating. Anyway, so we are going to wrap, but I do want to ask you for any advice that you have for people who are looking to build their brand on social media, who are in a community. Like,
Yes.
what are the secrets?
So I would say there's a lot of groups in, Fairfield County, also in the city, different, networking calendar invites that you could go to, put yourself out there. It's not like, I feel like today, if you were to start, you can't hide behind your screen. In order to grow and connect with people, I feel like you really got to go and put yourself out there. There's like, every night, if I wanted to, I could go to something, in our area here.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
right? I feel like this is more social than New York City. Like, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
enough with the invites.
Yes.
Like, how many more?
I know
of
you
these?
probably get them like even more than me.
But I'm working too much, so I'm also, we've done it all, right? Once you've done the New York thing in your 20s, you're like, I'm
You're
good.
over it. Yeah. No. So I would definitely say put yourself out there, network. If you meet someone, I've met so many friends that, my family say you're Instagram friends that are now my real life friends. So, schedule a coffee date. Like if you see someone online that you were like, oh, I get good energy from this person. I feel like, message them. Hey, do you want to meet? I can't tell you how many people I've met doing that. And it's not, at first I thought it was a little weird, but that's how you grow your brand, your business, and meet people today is, messaging them. I mean, that's how we connected,
Oh, I know.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
I was following you anyway, but then I was like, I know she wants to come on, so we have
Yeah.
a slot.
Yeah, no.
And then I was, I knew
Yeah.
I would invite you eventually, so I was like, she's
Thank
going to
you.
come on.
Thank you.
But it's true. I think it's interesting how you're saying in order to grow your brand online, you need to meet in real life.
Yes, for sure. And then also, being organized, your calendar, and just, maybe like creating goals for yourself of whatever it may be. But yeah, and just, sticking to it. There's definitely times for me with my page, like the algorithm, it goes up and down and, I'll be like, have a few viral reels and then like I'll be stuck and I'll like lose followers. But I just feel like, I don't take it too seriously. Again, my kids are my life, my world, they're first. So you know, if it reel doesn't do good, now I'm sort of at the point now where I'm like, whatever, I'm going to post again tomorrow and hopefully it'll do better. Like, you know, when I first started, you get all stressed because you'd be like, oh, it didn't do well. And what did I do? Now I'm just like, you got to just, it's social media. It's not, you know, it's not real life.
That's the best advice.
It somewhat is real life, but
It's the best advice because I think that like the more that you know it's a system.
yeah,
There's no really rhyme or reason.
So just keep at it, and
it's consistency.
Yeah, and it's sticking to a certain niche too. Like mine, like I said, the comedy and the humor really took off the past few years, and that's what's grown my page. So I just plug it out, and it's me. So.
And you're successful.
Thank you. So are you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Yes.